Hi, honey. You was playing all good. I was like, play. Shoot. I need to hear that. Honey, how you doing, man?
Good to see you.
It's good to see you too. I feel like I always see you in passing or at the kids' school when they used to.
Yes, and we're gonna get into that too.
I know. See, did I just take over? So this is what we're gonna do. You tell I'm excited. I'm excited to be here with you today.
Yes, me too. Me too. I first of all, thank you for doing this for me and with me. I've been blessed to be able to talk to people that I admire and that I have some sort of relationship or contact or history with.
Yeah.
So that makes it that much better. But I do want to say that when everything first started with the pandemic, you survey the land, kind of see what's going on. And some people were really taken back by everything, especially in our community. So it was just great to see you go ahead and jump in and, and keep giving the music to the people in the same way that I've always seen you give the music to the people. So I just want to applaud you for that real quick.
I love you for that, brother. I've been doing it for me. I need it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm grateful. I'm grateful.
Yeah. So I've got some questions for you. Some planned, some not planned, some you'll probably make me ask.
I am. I'm about to ask you now. Your haircut is smacking. Did you go get it cut or you did it?
Oh, no. I went to Ideal Barbershop.
Listen. When I was getting mine, I sure did go to Ideal. I've been thinking about it. It's been an ideal opportunity because stuff is. But at any rate, okay, it looks great though. You look fantastic. I just needed to say that.
I appreciate that. Happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth.
I'm glad to be celebrating that with. I had Kimberly Nicole on Tuesday, another Spelman sister of mine.
Yes.
So it's all Spelman this weekend. I wanted to start by asking you about Chester, Pennsylvania. So I did my research.
Yeah.
Geographically, Chester is located in a very interesting type of place. It's on the river, right or wrong?
It's right on the Delaware River.
Really?
The Delaware River. I remember my dad would walk, and I was walking distance from the river, and we would walk down there sometimes. And my dad, he was a jokester. He said, "Look at the possum jumping in the water." It's like, oh, I want to see that. Oh, don't you ever fall in that river? I'm not. Why would you say that? At any rate, yes. And that same river, if you took that river straight north, it would take you straight to Philly. It's just 9 miles. Chester's just 9 miles south of Philly.
Oh, wow. Okay, so let me ask you this. That's great. That's great. Because of its proximity to Philly and I guess to Delaware, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And Jersey.
Oh, wow. Did you, culturally speaking and from a musical perspective, which were you drawn to the most outside of what you got out of Chester?
Nowhere, because I left. What's so ironic, I didn't get into the music scene for real. I was singing with the Wilmington Chester Mass Choir, which was kind of a tri-state group. But beyond singing with the choir, I didn't get into the side of the Philly sound and whatever was going. I left home when I was 18. I came to Spelman.
Did you grow up? I mean, what did you grow up listening to then?
Now, I grew up listening to WDAS FM Philadelphia and Power 99. So all I was listening to was, from Gladys Knight to the OJs to Patti LaBelle, of course, to Mays and Frankie Beverly. That stuff was playing all the time. Luther all the time. And I always talk about my parents being these musicians by default because they were giving me an education in music and I didn't even know what was happening. When they'd have house parties or just whenever my mother, it would irritate me so much, my dear brother. My mother would play music early in the morning, 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, the radio's on. I'm like, I do not want to hear It's a Love Thing while I'm trying to sleep. But the good thing is, if It's a Love Thing come on while you sleep, it's a love thing. You can't help but move. You just can't.
So what then was where did the encouragement come from to play piano? Because I saw you were studying and you started at a young age, right?
Yeah, yeah. I saw one of my classmates playing the piano. I went to a Ukrainian Catholic school. Now, things must have been a little, out of whack for that to be the main or the primary option for a young Black kid.
Yes.
So I went to Ukrainian Catholic school, and one of the spaces where I felt, and I'm only touching base with this space because of all that has gone on. It just, all this stuff is, you recall all of this dealing with this climate right now.
Yeah.
And the space where I felt seen and I felt like I could be, I saw my classmate playing piano, and I saw how people rallied around her and people supported her and they liked that. And I said, Mom, I want to play piano. She's like, all right, look, if I get you a piano, you're going to practice. And she did. She bought me a piano, got a piano teacher.
Wow.
The first thing we did, he pulled out that Thompson's piano book, the red book. I don't know if you remember, it was kind of a landscape.
Wow.
And I remember that big, remember the notes, you started reading the notes all big, you know what I mean? That was it. And he took, that was my, one of my study books, and a hymnal.
Nice combination.
Those were the two things he started me with. And then from my piano teacher's name was Dallas Fitzsimmons. Hell of a name, right?
Yeah.
Church musician. But I did that. And then, I transitioned. I told my mom I needed more. So I got a new piano teacher. And that's really how it started.
Wow.
That's really how I started. I said, I want to do that. There's something in that. I saw a spark. I saw a shine in my classmate. God rest her soul. Her name is Talea Ford.
Wow.
Yep. I'll never forget it.
Well, let me ask you this. Was the nature of the Ukrainian Catholic school, did that help steer you towards Spelman, or where did Spelman?
No, that was oppressive. That was oppressive.
Really?
Learning Ukrainian.
You had to learn Ukrainian?
I can't remember the rest. Yes, I did.
Wow.
They're teaching us, so you're learning this stuff, and you're not even aware that this is someone else's culture that you're becoming versed in your own thing. You feel this out of balanceness.
Yeah.
But you don't know what it is. And and I will say that's a good question though. Yes, maybe it did. Maybe those experiences are were the catalyst, along with Spike Lee and Bill Cosby. I'm sorry, bless his heart, but I can't. I have to separate that act from what he did give, and what I have to say I owe him and Spike Lee for showing us Black people in that space, educated Black people, enjoying learning, enjoying, accepting their greatness and walking in it, and besides, I wanted to do the butt so bad. I begged my parents for some biker shorts. I had my dad at every bike shop in the tri-state area looking for some biker shorts. Do you understand me? And I thought EU said my name, and Denise something, something. I thought he said my name, so I knew I had to get some biker shorts. I know.
Yes. So one thing I was surprised to find out is that you started out as a piano major and then graduated with a philosophy degree.
Yeah.
So tell me, did you get burnt out? What was it?
I got burnt out, and I was, and God bless my piano instructor. She wasn't coming to class. She wasn't doing. It's the truth. They know, and the folks that know. If you was a Spelman and you know who your piano instructor was, she wasn't coming to class. And at the end of the first semester, y'all, my freshman year, I didn't know that there was a thing called juries. At the end of your semester, you have to show what you've learned. You worked on the whole semester, right? I know you know. And at the end of the semester, the day before jury, I see people's names, or no, a few days before, I see a wall with all these people's names and times that they go on and do. I was like, what's that? I said, what's that?
No.
Then I saw my name. What does that mean? I was supposed to have been working on a piece the whole semester to perform for the faculty. I didn't even know anything about it. So, and of course, you know, I was 18. That was my first time away from home, clearly, so it wasn't all her fault.
True.
But when I would show up for the class, she wasn't there, or she would reschedule. And I went to her and said, listen, I didn't even know this thing existed. She said, oh, don't worry about it. You'll be fine. I was like, no, I won't. We haven't had a real lesson. And I felt like this ain't going to work. And then subsequently she gave me an F, but that's not the point. The point is that wasn't going to work.
So why philosophy though?
Because my Spelman sister and your Spelman sister, her name was Allison. Can't remember Allison's last name. She was a drummer, jazz drummer. She says, listen, I know you're tired of the music department. When I say jazz, like Charles Mingus, jazz, deep, deep, deep. Listen, and she didn't smoke weed or anything, but I just felt like she did. Listen, what you need to do if you want to get out of Spelman, change your major. You can get out with a philosophy degree in a year. I would say, are you kidding me? Like, I was a senior when she told me this. Are you kidding me? And I can get out? She's like, yeah, do it. That's what I'm doing. And that's what I did. I know that is well, I'm not going to say it's horrible. That's what I did. So I can get out. So I can walk. I can walk. Yeah. Because at that point, that would have been 5 years. And, I will say this. I owed that to all of the people who held me up, all of the people who put their money and their support where their mouths were to make sure that I had, and that I was exposed and experienced. And those people right at the top of the list are my mom and my dad. So I was like, there's no way I'm going to come down here and not at least allow them to see this. And at least complete it. And so that was my goal. Even I was, the week before graduation. Listen, yes, I know I didn't come to your class. Could you please just sign? Just give me a seat, please. Because my mom is going to be here next. The whole family, they're coming. Yeah. And if I don't walk, they're going to blow Spelman up. So go ahead. Just write it right there. Just write a C. You'll be fine. I won't tell nobody if you don't. Of course, that didn't go down like that. I had to do some papers, but I was able to get out.
Oh my goodness, that's so funny. I remember the day before graduation, maybe because I was a business major, I changed my major to French midway through because I was like, I just can't do this.
Yes.
And I remember early on, I used to carry around a binder with all of my credits, everything.
Are you kidding?
Yes, because I knew, I was like, you know what, just in case. The day before graduation, when we went to get our cap and gowns, I got in line, I told them my name, they were like, we don't have you graduated.
They pulled you out of line?
Listen, not on the day of graduation, the day before, we went to pick up our cap and gowns, pulled my little binder out, like, flip, flip. They were like, oh, my bad, here you go. I was like, oh, Lord.
See, you were brilliant. See, because you were doing your work. You were doing the right thing. You weren't like me, like praying.
Here you go.
Lord, don't pull me out of line. Please. Ducking, please. But it's a shame that we had to do this every semester, though. And I'm grateful for my college experience, but every semester they messed up my student aid, my financial aid.
Yeah.
Every semester.
Yeah, believe it. Oh man, we could go on.
But would you change your experience, your college experience, for anything?
I wouldn't, because it gave me so much patience. Yes. It taught me about systems.
Yes.
And it taught me systems weren't always going to be fair and for me. So it was a lesson that I had to learn, where it's like, okay, no, sorry, you got to go to this office first. You go to that office. Oh, it's lunchtime. And then you got a class. But then when you get back, it's after hours. And, so it taught me about discipline and really following through, on a lot of things as well. So I definitely would never change that. But it would have been nice to register on the telephone, on the computer.
Wait a minute, to be able to go eat. They say, oh, no, you can't come in here and eat because you don't have your sticker. Well, y'all messed up my financial aid, so I can't. But I'm grateful. I love, like you said.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So during that time, were you going musically once you, even I guess before philosophy became your major, were you cutting your teeth anywhere in particular in Atlanta musically, or you were still kind of?
No,
What?
that's what's so weird. I'm telling you, this thing is, you know, no, I was working at MLK, y'all, the chapel. I was the choir director at King Chapel, student choir director. I worked as the, assistant conductor for a minute with the Spelman College Glee Club under Dr. Norma Rabin. I did not. I feel like I was like, what was I doing? I was talking to my Spelman sister and my children's godmommy. I said, what was I doing in school while y'all were at the Royal Peacock? She was like praying and reading the Bible. I was like, that's not true. Was I? It went by so fast. It went
I
by
did
so,
not
I
know
feel
that.
like I don't know. I wasn't. So I didn't know anything about the Apache. I didn't know anything about the yin yang until after I graduated.
Wow.
And then my everything shifted. My everything. Because again, so I'm playing in church. I'm at Spelman. And the thing that I want to do is not really honored in either place. Because church, I'm doing church music. Spelman, they only want me to do Rachmaninoff and Bach, right? They don't even want to hear anything else in the practice rooms. And that was then, not now, but that was then. And so I'm introduced to the yin yang and the chronicle, Lil Jon, I'm like, what? I feel like I'm at home. I can do this because this is a bit of everything. It just, where have I been all my life? And that, it is, I often, I don't like to say I regret, but I do wish I had tried more things. I try to tell my kids that when I was in college, that's the time to try stuff, and just try it. Try it. You just never know. Explore, meet people. You just never know. And I really hate that I miss sometimes, but
Yeah. So what was the breakthrough moment then? Were you torn between the two worlds?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. When we started, when Dana and I started working together, and as again, at this point, I'm playing at the historic Ebenezer Baptist Church. I'm at Zion Hill Baptist Church. I'm at St. Paul AME Church. I'm doing all this stuff here. And again, this other thing is in me, this R&B. Again, remember I said my parents were my teachers. They had me, I was listening to Gladys Knight, and I'm humping to, the Isley Brothers. And Dana was like, so what are you going to do? Because there are people who want to hear you do gospel music. There are people that want to hear you do R&B. And I struggled with it. And truth is, we prayed about it. And we were like, whatever music God gives us, it's going to be divine. And that's it. Whether I'm singing directly about God or something that God has done or God is bringing me through, or if it's my relationship that's gone bad with my boo, God kept me through it so I wouldn't kill him. You know what I mean? God is in all of it. You know what I mean? And that is more than anything. I feel like that's what my purpose is, to tell people God is in all of it. If you have a drink, God is there. You smoke some weed, God is there. Don't do something like, you stuck. But if you do that too, thank God for bringing you out of the stuck place. I mean, like, for real, I think that's where we miss it.
Yeah.
In order to carry the divine in you and to honor the divine in you, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't, all these rules that humans have designed. Humans. And then you wonder why you don't fit in, because somebody else has made rules and cut and pasted it for everybody's life. No, not mine. I'm gonna have some Hennessy and give God glory while I'm sipping it. Amen. Okay.
Amen. I love it. For everybody tuning in, I see everybody reacting, and I love that. This is Kameron Corvet. I'm with my sis, Avery.
And I see some of my family on here, Mr. Art. There was a choir that I sang with initially called the Super Choir of Atlanta, which was formed for around the Olympics. and I ended up singing with them. And I hate that I did not acknowledge them, but the Super Choir of Atlanta, and then I ended up getting involved, and we directed, and we changed the name to New Season. And so I see my family on here supporting you, man, and supporting us. Hey,
That's
family.
what's up. Check in. Feel free to check in. You won't be interrupting us. We can do two things at one time for sure.
Yes.
So let me go to this piece here. I always see you on the plane somewhere, either knowingly or unknowingly, right? Yeah. You might be over here. And
Dana's wheels up. I'm gonna up his wheels.
Yo,
I mean, I'll be over here. And he just posted, he don't care. And then he say, "Oh, you always look beautiful to me."
I'm like, what? You know, I remember when I was teaching, right? Mm-hmm. And when Drew first started middle school, and you know, the lines in the middle school weren't that much different than the lines we had to be in when we were at Spelman and Morehouse.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
But I remember seeing you there doing your due diligence as a parent, knowing that you had a bunch of other things you were doing, and knowing that you were embarking on, like, there was a moment I remember, and I'm like, yo, Avery's everywhere, you know? and then simultaneously I'm seeing Drew, you know, walk through the halls, and, you know, I've always seen you Superwoman your thing, doing that the whole time. And I wanted to know, with a rigorous road schedule and touring schedule, how have you been able to balance that with motherhood?
Wow. First, I have to thank you for being a Black man present in an educational environment. And my kids never had anything bad to say about you. Oh, he's such a nice man. No, for real, you know, especially at that age, kids know energy.
Yes, they do.
And so I just need to thank you and say that first, because we needed you, and we need you, you know. And you know, you're teaching French. So you were like, he teaches French, he speaks French. It's just like, so I wanted to make sure I said that to you. So managing that, my parents moved when I got divorced. My parents moved from Chester, Pennsylvania, and said, we don't know where your career is about to go. So they saw stuff that I didn't even notice. And so we're going to go ahead and move to Atlanta to help you take care of your children. And that's exactly what they did. Within no time, they had sold their house. And I have to be honest, I couldn't have done this without their support. I mean, unselfish. We're going to move. We're going to sell our house to come and help you take care of those children so that you can fulfill your dream. Even if you don't even all the way know what it is, we're going to come and help you. And then in addition to them, there's another tribe of people, a village around to help support. And I have to say, my in-laws, the Menifee family, supportive, and even the children's father, as best he could when we were going through our, we had a team. So I know it looks like, my cape is flying and all, but there's no way I could even get off the ground without those folk. There's no way. Still, right now, my mother, she's almost 83. She'll come over to make sure that we're good. We're working on a campaign right now, and I posted some stuff last night, and my assistant called me and said, okay, Ma Ruth is already online posting stuff, telling people what they need to do. I told her not to do that, but she's going to still supporting, still loving, still caring, still driving around, doing what she wants to do. I am grateful. I am grateful for that. There's no way I would be here without the support of my parents, and God rest my father's soul, and our village.
Wow.
Special.
No way. So when it comes to parenting and the climate, Even before the climate was the climate to everybody else. The climate has
Yes.
always been the climate.
Yes.
So, as you've seen your children get older, experience more of real life, have those conversations, maybe some conversations with friends and certain conversations they're exposed to or subjects they're exposed to in school. How have you prepared all of the children that are underneath your watch for sometimes the harsh realities
Yeah.
that Black and brown people face out here?
It's interesting. And we have three, Drew, 20, Micah is almost 19, and Evan is 18. And I have two nephews that moved here, and they are 7 and 5.
Wow.
And I like that you said all the children that are in is what we are doing now. And I'm gonna get to the question. Our tribe, we're getting all of my nieces and nephews. Our tribe is coming together, and we're making sure that we talk to our children together, because we don't get to choose about just the ones right here in this pod here. We have a whole group of nieces and nephews and cousins and stuff that all need to benefit from all of our parenting and all of our stories. So we've been more active in all of their lives. And what we found, one of the things that we started doing was telling our boys for sure, if you get stopped, when you get stopped, make sure your hands are where they can be seen. Say, my name is, my father is, my mother is. Here are their phone numbers. Evan, when you're driving, don't speed. Evan, if the police officer asks you a question, answer the question. No swift movements. The fact that we have to have these conversations, it is tiring.
Yeah.
Oh, I was not doing this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's tiring. It's tiring. And I'm so full. But you know what's interesting about it though? These conversations, I feel like we're having them with our kids, but our kids are so much more in tune with what's happening because they've been talking about this stuff. I feel like our age group, we're the ones who kind of just went along. So my mother's generation, they dealt with it. My mother was protesting, and she was in the deep south. My mother was in near Gainesville, Archer, Florida.
Oh, wow.
And she remembers the colored signs. She knows that story, right? So she moves to a place where she feels like she can give her children a better space. She never really talks about it, never really dealt with it with us.
Yeah.
Because it was there, but it was hidden with us.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that thing that was hidden for our children is so apparent and real now. I feel like our generation is the one that's kind of stunned. The kids are like, we're not stunned. Burn it up. We've been seeing it. They say all kinds of stuff to us. My niece told me that she was in a class in her school. She's a freshman in college. And she said in one of her acting classes, one of the folks said to her, listen, just play the part like you're being lynched.
Oh my gosh.
They said that to her. So there's this awareness and this freedom to speak about it and to acknowledge it that this generation has, that does give me some ease.
Yes.
It gives me some ease. But it brings up those times that I didn't talk about.
Yeah.
The things happen in me.
Yeah.
That I let slide. Kameron, I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Of course.
Those moments with white folks when they say stuff to you and you let it slide because you know you need to get to the next level. So you say, I'm just going to let this go. I'm going to sit on this call with these people at the Grammy office, and the president is going to have she's going to have a goddamn cotton bouquet. This is 2 weeks ago. She's got a bouquet of cotton. This is the president of the Atlanta chapter of the Grammys, a white woman. She's got a bouquet of cotton in the video. And all these black people on the call and brown people, and none of us said anything. Even me. didn't say anything. Oh, I'm going to though. Oh, believe you me, when I see it, listen, it may not wait till then. I'm gonna wait till I get it together so I ain't cussing and stuff. Oh, but I'm going to tell her. I want her to be aware, because what I'm finding is with some white people, they're not even aware.
No.
They're not aware. I'm trying to make the white folks that we do music with aware. No, I don't appreciate it when you play our music and you do not acknowledge where it comes from. I don't like it when you play to an all black audience and your whole band is black. No, I don't like it, because I feel like we are still propping you up just like our people propped you up when my great grandmother was taking care of your ancestors' white babies and washing their clothes while my grandmother was off to fend for herself. I am tired of propping up and not telling the truth. And love, and listen, I love everybody, but I'm real too. I get it. We done We Are the World and sang Ebony and Ivory. That's not where I am right now. We need to be aware. We need to study. We need to know. And we need to acknowledge that this is not our sickness.
No. You know, and that, I told somebody the other day, it's like when you're born, I'm gonna just be specifically. I'm a connected to being black.
Yeah.
When you're born black in this country, it's like in your bloodstream is PTSD that just keeps traveling from generation to generation. I used to be at odds with my dad, because my dad was one of the first to integrate a school in Savannah. So we didn't even talk about certain things growing up, you know, because it's too painful.
Yes.
All he had to say was this and this and this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And I used to feel like I went through a somewhat militant phase, and, you know, and knowing that he had gone to Tuskegee and
my mother went to Tuskegee.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So it's like, I'm like, yo, why are you telling me to just chill?
Yes.
And it was because, you know, he was from a generation where doing it that way was the way. And there's got to be, you know, doing that though for our age group, like you said, it caused us to just take it and never release it and never talk about it. And, you know, we're dealing with a lot of that, like recall, like you said earlier, when you're thinking about certain things. During this whole time, I've been thinking about things that I've gone through. Like when I was in middle school, I went to private school.
Me too.
You know, it's 4 or 5 black kids in the whole grade. And I remember being at the lunch table, and one of my friends was like, man, I will pay you $20 to grow an afro because I just want to see it in person. Will you please do that for me? And you just get, it's like at one point I was reacting, but then at another point it just happened so frequently and so
cavalierly that
I just was like, you just get tired. You get tired. You get overwhelmed. And, you know, I'm glad that the generation that is the college generation and the high school generation that's of a certain age, they don't care. You know what I'm saying? Those same kids that used to be like, but why? When I was teaching them, I'm like, listen, but why?
Yeah. Yes.
Now they're acting on that. They're not just accepting what we say to them. So, you know, I am proud that, you know, I earned my stripes in the school system of Atlanta, and and that it also had so closely to do with music and music people. And I saw music people being parents and music people, you know, playing and singing for causes of, you know. So I'm excited about what is on the horizon.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, me too. Me too.
How do you feel? Okay, let's break something down for me. Shine no matter what.
Yeah. Listen, so now everything is colored by, pun intended, everything is colored by what is happening right now and our very existence. And I am trying to find, I've been dealing with the shine no matter what.
Really?
I've been dealing with because that's a part of, you know, you being beat down, but you sing anyway. They're breaking your spirit, but you go ahead and shine anyway. They give you pig guts, you go ahead and make cuisine. You go ahead and make some chitlins that the people are paying $50 for an ounce for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have been dealing with and trying to transfer it in my mind to, like, God, what does it really mean to shine no matter what? Does it mean to take it and shine while somebody's pulling the rug from under you every day? Does it mean that? Or does it mean, guess what? I'm going to tell my truth, and that's shining no matter what, no matter how you feel about it. And I guess depending on the day,
Right.
however that means, to right now, shining no matter what this is my truth. This is how I shine. And guess what? It's my light, and I'm going to let it.
Yes.
It's mine, and I'm going to let it shine. So, yeah, hey, if you listen, if you a roach, then you got to scatter. Hey, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Over it. Over
let's
it.
go.
You know I'm right.
Yeah. Yes, you are. From a musical standpoint, I've always felt like you've been willing to be vulnerable in your music, you know. Ugly part of me, you know, other than John running and seeing John John under the table. I was wrong.
We were just talking about that. He is nuts, by the way. That's my brother.
Oh my gosh.
I might have to watch it now that you said that.
Hilarious.
Ask him at the last minute, and he did it. I was like, brother, you got to get a suit. I got to get a suit? Okay. And John, my brother, is the type that will complain just a little bit, but he's going to do it. Going to do it. Going to do it. Because he's just kind in that way. So that was hilarious.
I always thought the song was so real, though, you know?
Yeah.
Like it was acknowledging the human element that makes us imperfect, you know?
Yeah.
And in doing so, that acknowledgement, I could tell by the reaction that I've seen people give you to the song and to your performance of the song that it resonates.
Wow.
How do you go about the creative process when it comes to being honest and being open? Is there ever a moment where you're like, that, you know, do you filter it? Yeah.
All the time. Like, I don't know if I should do that. Sometimes I'm a little too, maybe that was too much, Dana. Dana be like, yeah, Denise, you can't cuss just straight do a whole cuss rhyme. You can't do that because you're feeling that way. So yes, there's a lot of editing. But I have to say this before I say anything else. You're one of my favorite writers. I just feel like you're I've never said that, and I need to make sure you know that. Dana and I talk about it often, and every time we see you, we would say, if we don't do something with him, it's going to be a problem. So please know that I am a fan, and but we write from I write from my experiences. So does Dana. And again, it's the same thing. Whatever comes out and is honest, that's what I'm going to sing. That's it. And one of a deflating moment, but a telling moment and an epiphanal moment in my career was after we had, one ugly part of me. We were told, we let people hear that, and they were like, it's too slow and it's too long, and nobody will play that on the radio. It's not radio friendly. You know, back in the day, that was, everybody had something. It's not radio friendly. And me and Dana were like, well, we don't care. We're independent. We weren't even looking for that anyway. Turns out it was radio friendly, and it played, and it hit Billboard, like top 20, completely independent. And when I say completely, no help, no support. Oh, an amazing program director from Chicago heard it, saw a YouTube video, and said, can I put it on my station? It happened to be the #1 radio station at the time.
Wow.
At any rate, so we do that, and then we get this next song, Call My Name, that goes to #1, right? And the label that we happen to partner with said, listen, we need That was great. Now, can we get another one like that? A full album of songs like that? It's like, that's like asking me to have another Drew. I can't give birth to another Drew. You say, and 12 Drews? That don't even sound right. It took me a minute to, but what was so good about it was it reminded me that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. Go here. Go here and write what is honest here. That's it. Number one is great, but honesty is better.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks.
Do you feel like you're, I mean, I don't want to think this is a loaded question. Maybe it is. Are you most comfortable writing based on keys being the foundation, or, you know, because you got Dana, you got the guitar master over there.
You know, I actually like, if I could play guitar like y'all, ooh, y'all would know what to do with me. Do you understand? I would be right here, right now, playing guitar. I ain't got one here now. I would be playing guitar right now, just out of tune, just a mess. I love the guitar. There's something about the frequency. It just makes me, and the fact that you can go anywhere. You can sit on a lawn and play guitar. You can sit in an airplane and play it. You can be in the bathroom and be playing guitar. The fact that you can do that, I would say, yeah, I'd rather, I would rather write to guitar. Yeah. I would.
I can imagine, like, especially, you know, even with me on guitar, when I hear some chords on keys that are voiced in a certain way, it could be chords I play all the time, but I just like, oh, whoa.
It does something different to you, doesn't it?
It does.
And just, I think you're right. Hearing something different, another perspective, those different, yeah, I think you're right. And then I get in my way sometimes when I'm playing, because I'm playing chords that feel good to my fingers. I'm playing keys that feel good to my fingers, you know, and I won't veer out. So lately what I've been doing is playing more in A, playing more in those guitar keys at those E, and, you know, those that are good. Just trying to just stretch out and explore some stuff. So
that's what's up. So what's the give and take in a musical relationship or marriage from your perspective?
It would be good to have Dana here on this one, because he says, yeah, it's just all take as far as she's concerned. We'll start writing together, and this is what's good. I'll start playing something and I'll have an idea. Dana, come listen to this. Da, 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 da. And he'll say, oh, and then go here. And I'll say, no, that's not what I was thinking. And he'll be like, well, how about this? You think of it all. I'll be back. So for me, it's been, I have to learn to make space. And but you have to know that sometimes an idea is so strong in your head, you don't want anything else to come in and get it out before you can get, or change it before you can get it out. So what I'm learning to do is get all of that stuff out first, and then go back and say, okay, Dana, check this out. What do you think? Let's tweak it and all. And sometimes it doesn't work like that. Sometimes it's all Dana. Sometimes it is some give and take. And he might say a word, or, you know, or he might play a bunch of chords, you know. So for me, though, I don't know if you're like Dana. Dana, we can say, Dana, we need a song today about an anthill, okay, in the winter, and go. Dana's going to get the guitar, go write a song about an anthill in the winter, and it's going to be fantastic. If you ask me to do that, I'm going to be blinking. So it's like, because my spirit isn't there. My heart isn't there. Is that what it needs to be? I don't want it to be. Sometimes I take myself through changes. It's just like, so I'm learning to not put all those rules, apply those rules to myself. Be free. Try stuff.
Shout out to Big Dane. I saw he's in here right now.
Is he? Yeah. He was supposed to go to Lowe's and get me some stain. I'm about to do a DIY project. Dana, did you get that stain, the wood conditioner? Go ahead and put it in there. Did you get Look at him. Did you hear what he said? Just tell the story. You can't come. Don't come into our thing and be a smart ass, Dana. Don't do that. Don't do that. I bet you better have that wood stain conditioner. I'll be talking grace to him, and then he'll come up and I'm sorry. No. You know what I love about my husband? He allows me to be exactly who I am, which calls forth a space where I want to honor him. I want to respect him. I want to watch my words so that I'm encouraging him all the time. I know we tease a lot, but if my husband needs something, I'm going to give it to him. And not just because he's a man, because he's a kind person. He's a good person. And but he still better have that wood stain conditioner.
You talked about partnership on the musical side.
Yeah.
And obviously a lot of the great music that we've heard from you comes from partnership.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to the entrepreneur side of things, partnering in that overarching sense,
yeah,
what advice could you give someone who's like, I really want to do this music thing, it's calling me, but I don't want to just run in circles and try to send a demo or do this or do that. I really want to invest in myself and create something. What has been something that's helped you in terms of partnering with your company and other companies? Or advice in general?
In partnering, I will say this: in partnering, make sure again that it's not all heart. There's some thought, and those things have to go together in this space. And it's not either or. It makes so much sense, but there's nothing here. Yeah. Oh, but I feel it here, but it doesn't make any sense here. That's just really important. Our first, Dana and I, our first, well, I'll leave it that. We had a really large, we paid for our learning. I'll say that.
Okay.
And so we learned a lot. And then make sure that whomever you are partnering with is, I don't know, I was going to say sometimes there are some partnerships that you need to teach you how to work with people who don't think like you. Right?
Perspective, yeah.
And if you want to it depends on what you want to do. I do think that it is healthy to work with people who do not think like you. And more than anything, before you're partnering with anybody, make sure you love what you do first. Love what you do first. And shine in such a way that is, I know it's corny, but I don't mind using shine all the time. Shine in such a way that it attracts what you need, right? And I was talking to my brother, Eric Roberson. We talk all the time, and he's always dropping little nuggets on us. And he said, somebody said to him, be what you need. Is that dope? Or I think he said DJ Malski said that to him. That is Stevie Wonder's DJ. He does all on stage with Steve. He said, be what you need. So if you need peace, you be peace. If you need understanding, you be understanding. If you need a good partner, you be a good partner. I do believe you'll attract those things to you. And but again, it's got to be heart and head, though, not either or. Not either or. Yeah.
I have one more question, and then I want to kind of close out because this has just been phenomenal, and I know people are going to be trying to. They're going to be trying to take all our sound bites and everything, but not before me, motherfucker. Not before me.
Yes. No, I love it.
Where do you see music, Black music has always been compartmentalized. If it wasn't race music and race records, it was, urban or colored records or whatever the case may be. But in the climate, back to that climate perspective, it's the wild, wild west right now. Everybody's holding on to their hats. They're riding the daggone,
like Django with that blue fit on. Just trying outfits on. This look okay?
Yeah. Where do you see the music industry as it relates to Black music? Do you I would hope that there would be some sort of change, positive change that comes out of this for Black music, but where do you see things potentially going?
Oh, listen, I hope that it is making people walk in their Blackness in such a way that, and I mean, make the Blackest music you can make. Don't edit at all, trying to make sure you get everybody. No, be honest. And I have been guilty of, well, if I do that, if it's too much organ on it, if I do too much, if I growl too much, I don't know. I am not editing myself anymore to play any game but my own. Did I get excited? I'm gonna go have some wine because I find myself getting excited these days over just a moment. I just get fired up. But I hope that everybody's fired up. And I think that is what's going to save us all, being honest. Stop editing. Stop censoring. We don't have to be mean. And that's where we get it wrong. And that's why I'm trying to be quiet lately, because I want to be able to communicate in a way that people will hear me, where it is palatable. So I've been quiet, so I don't call people a bunch of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's in me too. I can do that. But I don't want to do that. But what I'm not going to do anymore, and I encourage all of our Black musicians, creatives, whatever it is that you do, attorneys, doctors, be authentically you. You know who did that? Nina Simone said, I don't give a damn. I'm going to sing these songs the way they come out of me. Aretha Franklin, I'm going to sing it how I want to sing it. I'm going to do one take. If you don't like it, too bad. I'm about to go smoke. Okay? God bless you. James Brown, I'm going to say I'm Black and I'm proud. I don't care if it makes you uncomfortable. And I'm not saying that because most of my music is love music, clearly. And I stayed away from writing, I hate to call it conscious music, because of how it made me feel.
Yes.
Because I feel like I could go there and just be like this. And I mean, all the way that where I don't want to see anybody but us. And that's not healthy either. And I didn't want to do that. And so I always, but in that, there's a piece of me that I feel like I've been holding back. And I think that's where we're all going to break free if we just don't hold back.
Yeah.
And tell folks, and I know I said it a little bit earlier, tell white folks that they playing your music or somebody else, say, you realize where that came from, right? Absolutely. It's okay if you do it. I just want you to tell somebody where you heard it. That's all. Just acknowledge where you heard it. Don't act like you created it.
Yeah.
Because you like it so much and you play it pretty well. So what we can't do is abandon those things that are ours because we feel like somebody else has taken them and it's morphed into something else. I'm not going to abandon using organ in my song. I'm not going to abandon if I want to. I'm not abandoning that. I'm going to own it. Yeah. I'm not going to change the chord structure because it needs to be 4 chords, so everybody will want to hear it. I don't give a damn. I'm going to play it and I'm going to like it first.
Yeah.
I went off on a tangent again. I'm sorry. It's 5:56. I am going to go have some wine right now because I have to calm down.
Oh man, I got some there over in the refrigerator myself, so I'm gonna do that. This is lemonade, but we're gonna substitute.
Listen, sir. Okay.
It's been a pleasure. I know we see each other in passing a lot, but it's nice to just be able to especially during now,
Yes.
these times. It's nice to be able to set eyes on people and talk about
Absolutely.
some
Wait a
things
minute. And to be candid.
and
I
to
love this.
yes,
I love, thank you for space for us to have a conversation.
no
We
problem.
have to have these conversations. I've been in a space where I don't want to see nobody selfies. I don't want to see nothing. I want us to talk about, it was Dwight Howard. I cut over you again. I'm sorry, but I
No,
have to
so
say this. Dwight, I think it was Dwight Howard was on. He was being interviewed by Don Lemon. And he was asking about, Don Lemon was asking, so when are you going back to play? He was like, listen, all that stuff is a distraction. We got work to do for our people. And all I can think about, Cameron, is making sure that we, I'm not going to stop making music. We're going to keep doing that. But this other work, the music doesn't matter if we're not free. That's it.
that's it. There's really nothing else to say. I think that's our responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So please write your sister a song, please.
I got you. Thank you again for coming on board and making some special moments. I see a lot of people just
Hey, family. They
take
so good.
yeah, so I just want to say once again, thanks again. I'll give you the last like minute and 30 seconds to just address your peoples out there.
Hey, family, I love y'all. You see, and thank you, brother, again. This means so much. And I see the focus. Somebody said, give the benefit. May the Lord watch between me and thee while we're
Wow,
absent. One for huh? But I will say, I do have to do a shameless plug. Your sister's been working on some stuff. Again,
yes.
while we've been in this space, we all have to find ourselves creating and figuring stuff out. So I have my cosmetic line is coming out at the end of July.
Okay.
And for all these companies that we ain't supporting no more because they don't do right, I will be providing some orange lips, some pink lips, some red lips, and some lashes. And it's the company is called Lumac Beauty. It is in honor of my great grandmother, who I have photos of holding the child of a white family and hanging their clothes, no makeup on, clearly, and while my grandmother was unattended. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I honor her in her beauty and doing what she had to do so that she could survive and so that I could be here. So Lumac Beauty, y'all look for it. We'll make sure that everybody knows. But I encourage you, if there's something that you haven't done and you want to do it, do it. Do it right now. Don't wait. Let your voice be heard. That's who we are.
Yes.
And be proud of it. I didn't talk too much. I'm going to get some wine.
Some wine? All right. Avery, I love you.
I love you more, sweetheart.
Look forward to talking to you and seeing you soon. Give
Absolutely.
my love to the family, and we'll be in touch. I got you.
Thank you, baby. Love you. Thank you for the. I love being candid. Cameron Corvet, this is jamming.